Alright, we're looking at the Benchmade Presidio 5000. I've been reviewing this for a couple of weeks now. The clip is on the left side here. I am left-handed, so I've got it kind of set up so it'll sit in my pocket, clip up. Initial impressions of this, when I first got it, I was like, man, this is kind of heavy. The blade's kind of long, kind of thick. It might be a little too beefy for just a daily carry knife. But a couple of features here have kind of grown on me a little bit. It is an automatic knife. It has a lock on the back right here. It's set up so you can operate it right-handed or left-handed, which is kind of handy. If I'm carrying it left-handed, I just pull back on this. The blade deploys. If you close it up, even if you had to switch over to right hand, you can still pop the blade open, which is kind of a neat feature. Once it is out, you just have to pull that back to close the blade on there. Even with it out, it's fairly balanced. I kind of like that. It's not really front heavy, it's not real back heavy, so it doesn't really feel like it's going to fall out of your hand. For what I do kind of day to day, if you're going to cut open a box, you're going to cut a sheet of paper, sharpen a pencil, whatever you're going to do day to day with a knife. Personally, I think it's kind of a little big and a little heavy for that. Again, I'm used to carrying a Benchmade Griptilian for just an everyday kind of utility knife. Some other stuff, the clip here is reversible. Lately I've been carrying this on my support side. I just haven't changed that clip around. Kind of handy. I just use it kind of as a backup. I have my same utility knife that I use every day. I just carry this as a backup, so if something happens and I do need a defensive knife, I've already got a sharpened, non-abused knife ready to go. I can just pop out of my pocket and it's deployed. So that's kind of a handy feature. That's what I kind of like about it. The scales right here, at first I thought they were a little sharp, just on the edges, but it actually really helps kind of retain it, especially if your hands are a little slippery. If you're sweaty or something like that, it definitely helps keep the knife in place. They're kind of two directions, so it kind of just puts friction against your hand and you can kind of tension on your thumb, which I kind of like. The kind of like axis button here that releases the blade is the same kind of bevel on either side, which is kind of handy. A lot of manufacturers will put like a screw on one side and they might polish the other side, mostly for right-handers, so it's kind of nice for a lefty to grab it. It's still the same on either side. And the little bolt here that retains the blade in, that it pivots on, is nice and rounded on this side, and it's kind of flush on that side, so it's not really in the way here of hitting it with my thumb, or if I were to release it with my finger there. On either side, it's nice and smooth. So kind of a handy knife. Benchmade really kind of overbuilt this. It's probably a little too much knife for what I would use it for every day, but for like a nice defensive pocket knife, it's probably 100% for what that should be. You can just pull it out without even thinking, without trying to hit a thumb, without trying to hit an axis, and flip it. All you have to do is pull that back, the knife's in place. So kind of a cool knife, and I've enjoyed carrying it the last couple of weeks. It's a Benchmade Presidio 5000.